Thank you for joining for this reflection today, and I've been reading Matthew's Gospel, chapter 5, verses 13 to 20. You are the salt of the earth, but if the salt loses its saltiness, how can it be made salty again? It is no longer good for anything except to be thrown out and trampled by men. You are the light of the world. A city on a hill cannot be hidden. Neither do people light a lamp and put it under a bowl. Instead, they put it on its stand, and it gives light to everyone in the house. In the same way, let your light shine before men, that they may see your good deeds and praise your Father in heaven. Do not think that I have come to abolish the law or the prophets. I have not come to abolish them, but to fulfill them. I tell you the truth, until heaven and earth disappear, not the smallest letter, not the least stroke of a pen will by any means disappear from the law until everything is accomplished. Anyone who breaks one of the least of these commandments and teaches others to do the same will be called least in the kingdom of heaven. But whoever practices and teaches these commands will be called great in the kingdom of heaven. For I tell you that unless your righteousness surpasses that of the Pharisees and the teachers of the law, you will certainly not enter the kingdom of heaven. Well, this passage to me brings it home to us that our faith we often think of, don't we, as we receive grace, from God and so on, and our faith brings us comfort. But there's a challenge in here, isn't there? That there are expectations on us as well, and Jesus is putting this out fairly strongly in this passage, isn't he? About those expectations. It isn't really, necessarily okay for us to think, oh right, I've got this faith. It brings these wonderful gifts to me. But what do I do with it? What do I take out into the world? And these metaphors of salt and light are powerful, aren't they? Very well known, of course, from this passage. You are the salt of the earth. We use that expression, don't we, for people when we're being complimentary about somebody's character. Oh, he or she is the salt of the earth. But what do we mean here with it? What is Jesus saying to us? He means that we need to bring something of ourselves to the world around us, to the situations we find ourselves in, through the people we're with. It's about integrity, compassion for others, and also a sense, perhaps, of justice. If we sense something is wrong, we need to say it. We're not there to be anodyne, sort of, indifferent people. We're Christians, and we should be salty. We should season the situations that we find ourselves in with honesty, with character, and through our faith. And it's important that we do that. And also the light, the light that shines in us from our faith isn't just to help us to see in the dark. We need to reveal it. And it makes me think of the great old song, "This Little Light of Mine, I'm going to let it shine." The light isn't for us, it's for us to share. And so Jesus is laying this down to us, isn't he, that our lifestyle and our character should reflect our faith, what we do and how we speak. And we should be the salt and the light. And in the remainder of the passage, Jesus carries on to lay down more challenge, saying that he's not here to bring us, an easy ride. He's not come here I haven't come to abolish the law or the prophets. There are expectations on us to fulfill the commandments and the law. Jesus isn't an easy touch for, a nice, clear way forward. It's a challenging passage, isn't it? And we often think, don't we, of our faith as Christians and our faith and our relationship with Jesus as bringing a lot to us. But the expectation is we give a lot ourselves. I was looking in the chapter some of you may remember at Holy Trinity, we used Robin Gamble's book, Jesus 100, a little while ago as a companion to passages from the Gospels. And this prayer he wrote at the end of his chapter on this passage. And I'll use it to close with a prayer. Jesus, you truly were the light of the world and the salt of the earth. Help me become like you, that I might never lose my saltiness or hide my light, and that the place where I live might be a better home. Amen. Thank you for joining.